from nothing to something. We say we have faith from zero to hero, right? This is from no plaque to completely blocked artery. How plaques are actually formed in your arteries. That is the sparking of heart attack and stroke. All right, so if you want to start.
Yeah, so the arteries, can we elaborate a little more on artery?
Your vessels, the pipes that go from every part of your body to your heart. Basically, when the heart pumps blood, it has to go through pipes, and the pipes supply every cell and every organ and so forth. So the arteries, when you say arteries, we are talking about basically the tubes, the plumbing in your body that carries blood alongside with the oxygen and the food, nutrients, chemicals that we need. That is what the arteries are, the pipes.
We will try and explain how these plaques are formed. So initially, it can happen when there is an injury in that tube. So the things that can cause the injury can be high blood pressure. So if you have this condition, high blood pressure, it means that whenever your blood pressure is high and is pumping through these tubes, these arteries, it can cause injury when the pressure is high. When you are a smoker, you inhale this nicotine substance that can be a toxin that can cause injury in the pipes. And also when you have high LDL, the one that we spent about 2 weeks, 3 weeks talking about, so LDL,
high bad cholesterol.
The bad cholesterol. If you have high of the LDL, that can cause injury in the pipes. And also if you have high glucose level in your bloodstream, as it's moving alongside the tube, it can cause injury. So when this injury happens in the tube, that can lead to plaque formation.
My goodness. So that's what it's up. So there's more. I think there's alcohol too. Alcohol can also lead to that.
Toxins
that you eat from your food. And, toxins basically means poisons that happen to chemicals that happen to be foreign to our body. They are all potential things that can cause injury in the tube, in the pipes where your blood is supposed to flow. So the initial thing that leads to plaque formation is the injury. However, whatever way it comes across, whether your blood glucose is not controlled because you are diabetic, or you're smoking, as she said, or your cholesterol itself can also cause that injury. So with that out of the way, what is the next step in forming cholesterol plaques or artery plaques, as we're talking about? The next one I would also start is the LDL infiltration and oxidation. So when the injury happens, when you have, say we use an example like you are a smoker, let's use that as an example, and you cause an injury in the interior wall or in the walls of your arteries. When that happens, the floating LDL begin to infiltrate into that particular side of the injury. So LDL will mobilize itself. Remember, again, if you don't know where LDL is, we already said, right? Low density lipoprotein cholesterol, right? They will mobilize themselves and be at the site where that injury happens. So you smoke, okay, the injury is caused. Now, because of the injury, your LDLs begin to accumulate in that site. And that is what we call the infiltration of LDL cholesterol. All right, I'm going to talk about the next thing that happens is oxidation. A lot of diseases, as we may know, are as a result of oxidation. So when oxygen molecules are added to certain chemicals or body substances, they become poisonous. That process is called oxidation. And when LDL begins to accumulate in one place, not only do they stay there, they become oxidized, or I should say they become poisonous. They become toxic to the body. The next thing that will happen then is what we call inflammation. Inflammation. Want to take that too?
Yeah, so after it has infiltrated the arteries and being oxidized, meaning that it's becoming harden,
toxic,
the body realized that, oh, something is happening in there. Then all the white blood cells and cytokines and all that, they all gather together at that point. So when they all gather together, then inflammation occurs. The area become inflamed. Then you start producing any inflammatory substances in that area.
All right. I like that. Those cells are coming there with the mind of clearing that poison that has been found in your artery. And unfortunately, when they come, they got stuck because they try to mix with it to neutralize them, to make them not poisonous anymore. And by so doing, that particular place becomes enlarged. And so that is what begins the process of plaque formation or cholesterol plaque formation. So if we use this image as an example, this is somebody whose artery, this is the interior wall. The red that you can see is a tube, is the interior pictorial representation of the wall inside an artery. And the red round balls that are moving are also representing your blood cells. The yellow substance there, it's a plaque that has begun to be formed. Why? Because of the things we have already described. Because there was an injury, and not only was there an injury, the infiltration of LDL happened. And when they came together there, when the LDL substances, cholesterol basically came there, they got oxidized, and now inflammation has taken place. So the whole thing is becoming bigger because cells are moving there to neutralize what the cell perceives as something that is foreign to the body. So when we are born, it's not like this. When we are born, it is very clear, like the bottom part of the whole cycle. When we are born, it is not like so bad. So that is what basically happens during plaque formation, from nothing to something. We say we have faith from zero to hero, right? This is from no plaque to completely blocked artery if you don't take care of yourself. And that is what we are going to understand what happens